Hey there, welcome to day 96 of playing chess every day until I reach 1500 Elo. Currently we're at 1217 after a win in our last game. And let's go ahead and jump into another 15-minute rapid game here. Okay, we're up against a 1218. And he's playing d4, so I think I'll go with the Slav opening. Although I still don't know the Slav too well. I haven't learned too much about it. But it's very similar to the Caro-Kann, so which is what I'm most used to. Okay, let me see. I think I'm probably good to just go ahead and develop the bishop here. Or develop it here. Which one's better? If he kicks me here, I come back. Yeah, let's just go for this with the pin. And we can drop back. And end up on this diagonal if we want, if he kicks us again. Okay, he breaks the pin. Let's just go ahead and connect this. Oh wait, actually I could go take, and then support it. Did I do that just to win a pawn here? Yeah, I think let's just do that. And then support that. And we end up with a decent pawn chain over here. I could just develop first, actually. Let's just support it, or either that or push this to prepare to get the bishop out. Maybe let's push this first, because he's not attacking it. If he drops back to attack it, then I support it. Okay, yeah. Let's go here. Get ready to develop first. Okay, his knight can't go to those squares. Could go here. Let's go ahead and put this knight here. Okay, probably just trade this off and just stay up a pawn, get rid of the slightly weaker pawn here. Take, maybe queen here. Then he could go here, then I might just trade and let him open up the rook, maybe, and then we give him this one isolated pawn here that's pretty weak. So yeah, let's just trade it. And the other option would be pushing, just to defend this pawn. Yeah, doesn't defend it. So either here or push. I guess I could push here too. Yeah, I think just the queen out seems fine. If he takes, we'll have our rook opened up. Oh yeah, because this pawn is going to hang if I push it. So let's just block. Oh yeah, and I can also take back with the knight if he does take. If I don't want to double the pawns. And if he doesn't take, then I'm perfectly comfortable taking his queen. Okay, he doesn't take. Bishop can either come here or here. If it goes here, he could pin it to my queen, which I don't really like too much. I guess I could push this pawn to support it. But no, he could still push this after because it's still pinned. So, probably bishop here. And if the rook comes over, then I just drop back anyway. I have to be careful for him trying to like get a fork here or something. Alright, rook comes over, let's drop back. Or here. Yeah, if I go here, it does like... I mean, the pawn's guarded, so... Yeah, maybe it's kind of pointless. Let's just go back and have this battery lined up. Although it's not really looking at anything in particular. If only the queen were in front and the bishop were behind, then we'd be threatening mate. It's taking a little while. Yeah, so he is going for that, just trying to threaten that fork. So what should I do there? I could just push. And if he takes, I can take back with the knight. Yeah, I think I'll just push. Have two defenders there. Just see if there's anything else. Take. Yeah, I don't think so. Okay, let's just push. And then once we take back, we also actually really weaken his light square bishop. Because it will be kind of locked off with this pawn in front of it. And he can't push the pawn. Okay, he pushes instead. Probably will go ahead and castle. Let me see if he takes here, is that a concern? I don't think so. I take. Take there. Can take. Yeah, I think I'm okay with him taking. I think I'm just going to take this time to castle. I could castle queenside if I want. But his rook is already lined up over here, so let's castle kingside. And now his bishop will just stay kind of locked off here. From his own pawns. Actually, maybe I will take next though. Because if I take, he takes, then the queen hangs, so the knight is pinned to the queen. So he has to take with the pawn. And then maybe I can use the fact that the knight is pinned to do something. And maybe... Okay, he's just developing and attacking this pawn. So if I do move this rook, the pawn will hang, but probably not a huge deal. I think I will go ahead and capture here. And then we're also threatening this fork. So he'll probably take like that. Then he has this isolated pawn. Because if he does take with the knight, then I just take his queen. And then I probably will bring this other rook over. Okay, yeah, he takes like that. We already have a knight attacking it. Also can go here now, but then I kind of lose my pin that I have. Is there a way I can immediately take advantage of this pin? Can't go here. I think just bringing the rook over. He could drop back to defend. Could also bring this rook over, but it's probably more useful to move this one. Although actually it would be good to have this one here and this one here behind this pawn. Maybe I will move this one. If he were to take here, then I can just take the knight. Let's try that. Because if I move this one over, then it kind of prevents my ability to get one back onto the e-file. I mean, I can, but then like it takes several extra moves to move this one back and then move this one to where I want it on the open file. So it's easier just to start with moving this one because it comes with the tempo on this knight. So he can't take the free pawn. And he probably needs to go back like that. I guess he could go here. Or, yeah, like that too. Can't go here, because I'd want to be able to threaten this, because we still have the pin, because I have two attackers on the queen, but he could just take this pawn. So I could go here to threaten this, and then there, but he could always play this first, and that's like kind of slow. So I wonder if there's anything I can do with my knights, or just attack this pawn maybe. Could go here. No, I don't think that works, because he has two attackers here, and I don't really want to double the pawns up. Take. Here. I'm not sure exactly what I want to go for. Yeah, I could just... I can't go there. I could go here to attack this pawn, but it is guarded by this knight. Wait, actually, I can just... No, I can't take, because the bishop's guarding it too. So, I think I'll just move this rook to the open here. Behind the e-pawn. Because I can't see a way to follow up this attack yet. Unless just going here, do anything. Here, knight comes out. Or here. Then we would be threatening to go here. Knight to here. I don't know if the knight to here on its own will induce a trade though. Because I'm not really threatening anything from it. I could go... Oh yeah, I could go knight to here and then try to go knight to here. And if he takes... No, it still doesn't work because the queen can take back. So let's just move the rook here. I can't see a great way to follow up. Oh, actually I did forget that I am still hanging the pawn. But I think I could trap his bishop if he takes it by pushing. Because the knight still guards that, the knight and the queen. So if he does take, I think I can get the bishop locked off. But I kind of forgot about that. Now if I could push this, that would be good. Push this, he could go back to here, I could take, double the pawns. Or he goes like there. But then if he stops covering this square, I can hop this other knight in, and then we do have the triple attack. on this knight with it pinned to the queen. So then he'd probably have to guard it with the bishop or the rook here, and then his whole position just would be pretty tied down to that knight. Or actually, if he does go back, I can just take this pawn. Maybe that should be the plan, just try to win the pawn. Okay, he preemptively defends the knight. But it is still pinned, because I still have 2 attackers on the queen. So I think I can still do this. So there's no way to win the knight now for sure, because it has these 3 defenders. He could always put the 4th, but yeah, I think going here. And he can't take with the knight. Take. If he takes with the bishop, take with the knight. If he takes with the knight, I take the queen. Rook takes, and then we're up a rook. Okay, so yeah, I think we can play this. And then probably take the pawn after. But yeah, and I have the rook guard in this pawn too, so we can't. We have 2 defenders regardless, even if we didn't have the pin. Okay, he drops back. I think I'll take here. Once again, if take, we win the rook. As long as there's nothing crazy that the knight can do, I don't think so. And yeah, this gives us a 3rd attacker on the knight. It does have 3 defenders. I could also just take the bishop, and then he has to get another weak pawn. So, okay, let's go ahead and take. I guess I could actually use this bishop to get another attacker if I wanted to. But he can get a 4th defender. And I can't get a 5th attacker, I don't think. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, unless I could double the rooks up, then there's no way to do that. But I can't double the rooks up because I'd have to move the queen, then the rook, and then this rook. That's way too many moves away. So, yeah, I don't think we're going to win the knight, but it will force him to just be putting all of his pieces, placing them all defensively over here. Okay, the bishop moves again to attack this knight. So the queen's the only defender of this knight. So if the queen moves, he can take here with the fork. If I go take... Yeah, no, I don't want to take here. I think if anything I maybe would take here. Or go here. He drops back. Actually, no, let's take here and then go here. Because then the bishop can't become his 4th defender. And I can always maybe move this knight somewhere again. Move this knight here. As long as he's not threatening to force my queen to move right away, where it can't defend the knight. Let me see. Take. I guess then no, he's still in the pin because the rook is still looking here. Okay, I don't think there's a threat that he's presenting. As long as the queen stays defending this knight for now. So I can just go ahead and take here. And then probably go here. And then we do have 1, 2. We have 1, 2, 3 attackers. Wait, what was my fourth? I was trying to have a fourth attacker, but I think because I took... Oh yeah, one of the attackers was the knight that I just traded off. So yeah, okay. This would just be a third attacker, but it does still keep the knight pinned. Is there anything better I can do? I could go here to attack the rook. Ooh, it's kind of interesting. Here and then here. No, but he could take... Wait, no, he can't because it's guarded by the rook. This is interesting. I think here first to go ahead and keep the pressure on there. Although then I don't cover this square if the rook moves. So maybe here first, attack the rook. Rook moves. We go here, we attack the other rook. That's a discovered attack on this rook if he tries to continue to defend the knight. Okay, that seems interesting. Let's try, or... Other way? No, I think this way. Okay, let's... Oh, never mind, I forgot that this, the knight's actually pinned to the rook. Okay, never mind. Can't do that. Knight is pinned to the rook. Could still do that, though. Take, 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 take. I think I can still do it. But do I want to have to move the rook after if he moves? Then I go here. We're always still threatening a rook with the knight. Okay, I think maybe it's not too risky. I think I can do it. I'm not sure what else to do exactly. Unless I could get rid of the bishop somehow. Or just go here first, which was the other plan. Here, here, here. That's double attack, but he can take. Does that position look good for me, though? I'm not sure. Okay, I think I will just go here first just to keep the pressure on. It seems a little safer because it's hard for me to tell what's going to happen in that other position. And then maybe I will try to move this rook or something to get out of the pin. So we kind of force the rook to stay guarding it because we have these 3 attackers. And it's still pinned to the queen. If I could push the pawn, that would be nice, but I still can't. Actually, can I? Because if he takes the pawn, I can immediately take the knight. So I can push the pawn, I think. But if I take the knight, take the queen, take. Okay, I think he doesn't win. Maybe he wins the knight at the end. It's kind of a complicated position. I should try to just play quicker because we have an advantage. I don't want to get super low on time. And he has 2 weak pawns. Yeah, we're up 2 pawns and these 2 are weak as well. Queen moves. Okay, double attacking this. But I go here. Take. And I don't want to end up with this fork happening. So I might just want to move this rook over. What if... No, I can't take there. Yeah, let's just move this rook over to defend that. Or I go back to my previous idea of this. So he could take... I could take... We don't have the pin anymore here. Here, we're threatening this. So yeah, let's go... Oh, never mind, that's not... I was thinking that the bishop had a discovered attack, but it's the knight. We are threatening maybe this, though. So, okay, let's just go here. Let's defend it for now. Because we do have a little bit of a threat there. with that discovered attack just to take this bishop and make his pawns even worse again. The knight is actually still pinned to the rook now, not the queen. Because I could take the rook and the queen can't take back, or just take it again. So yeah, we do still have our pin. He has still his 3 defenders, but they're kind of stuck to that knight. So I think my next move probably is this, but this also is interesting. But I think, oh, he moves. Here we're threatening that fork, this, and then this. Here he could take that. I can take. Yeah, that still seems fine, I think. Or I go ahead and go with this. Yeah, I think I like this actually, because if he takes here, I take. No, it doesn't work because I'm giving up the queen for the rook. So yeah, that doesn't work anymore. So this or this. Take. Okay, I need to play quicker. Here he can defend this. Then I could go here to attack again. Okay, let's go for that. Oh, never mind. I forgot. I forgot again about the pin he could take there. So I think it's got to be this one then. Because then he could take and I can take. I think that's okay. So I do have this if I want to make the queen move again. Oh, actually, maybe I should have done that, because if I go there, this is guarded. The queen has to move, and then the queen can't defend the knight, can he? So maybe I could have. But then he takes with a rook, and I don't want to take back with a queen. I guess I could win 2 rooks for the queen. Maybe. I don't like giving away the queen for 2 rooks, even though I guess it's technically better. I guess I win the knight and the 2 rooks, but I still don't like when they have a queen and I don't have a queen. Okay. So, take here. And I think take here, probably, to keep this pin going. Now we have 3 attackers, he has 2 defenders. Have to be careful about, if I do move these, about any kind of back rank mate, since I haven't made an escape square. But yeah, we have 3 attackers on the knight, and I don't think he can defend it with a 3rd defender. But maybe he can create some kind of attack, I'm not sure. If it moves, then we take. Oh, is there a way he can move? Oh, he can move here. Yeah, okay. Either of these 2 moves work, because then he's guarding the rook. But they're both, you know, not super active for his knight. But it does come with tempo on my queen. Let's see if he goes for one of those 2 moves. I think he needs to play those, right? Because that's the only way to break the pin while defending the rook a second time. And he's taking a little while. Okay, yeah, he goes ahead and does that. That's not a move because it's double attacked, and my queen would be hanging here, so what should I do? Maybe just attack these pawns? Oh no, I need to guard my rook, so I guess I can't attack the pawns. I guess I probably need to just go here and try to get the rook trade. Does that attack anything? It doesn't really attack anything. Here doesn't threaten anything. Okay, let's not overthink it. Let's probably just go here. And then I'm down to trade the rook off if he doesn't. No, he doesn't want to trade it. So now maybe I will go like here. Attack the pawn. Can we pressure the knight at all? Can't go there really. Go here. Okay, I think I'll just go here. Still just have to be careful about any kind of back rank thing, so I probably should make an escape square here soon. And then I could, maybe I'll come in here with the bishop, make the queen move, but he could just take, I take, oh yeah, he does have the two defenders there, so I can't play that yet. Alright, I think I'll go here to just, well, actually I could take, wait, he just hung the knight there. But he's threatening this. So I think probably we'll go here to just block off this diagonal for him. He could take, and then I could take, wait, no. He can't because then it's threatening the bishop. So maybe I'll go here. Because then if he takes here, then I have this to win the queen. And if he tries to come down here, then I just go here. And he can't, if he takes, oh wait, no, that does work, right? Take. Queen comes down, that is mate. Maybe I do need to, maybe just bring the queen back. And then we still have this threat of winning the queen if he takes the pawn. And we guard this twice. Yeah, see, that's why the back rank can really become an issue sometimes. So I do need to make an escape square. Trying to bring the queen away from the back rank immediately caused me problems and I have to move it back. Okay. Probably just trade for this, just keep it simple and try to play quickly. Okay. And let's make an escape square. He didn't fall for taking the pawn with the discovered attack. Go here and attack the pawns. Maybe let's go. Maybe let's just start pushing. Is he threatening anything here? No, I don't think so. Okay, I'm just going to push this pawn. Support it. Let's push this one first. This one's guarded. He could attack that. Yeah, I guess actually he could go there. But maybe I'll just not worry about this one. Oh no, it's not attacked. I thought it was attacked by the queen already. Okay, he does go there. I could go here, he could take. I think he can't take this because it is still guarded, so I think I might just go here and attack that. And if he pushes it, then I just take. So let's try that. Don't have a lot of time here. If he tries to line up here, I'll probably just push. Or guard it or something. That doesn't work though, because the queen can just take. So maybe, yeah, I think I would just push. To prevent, yeah, he does go for that. Otherwise I go here. Let's just push. I mean, he could sack the rook, but then I just can get away here. After he checks with the queen. So we're threatening this pawn. Does he have a way to defend it? I'm not sure. Okay, queen moves, attacking that. Let's just take here. This pawn's guarded. Okay, attacking that. Might just go. Oh yeah, and this is. It's not pinned. Do I want to go here maybe? We want to be able to push this forward. Okay, let's go here. And he has check here, I come up. Okay, no, I think let's go here. Because then he doesn't have any checks and I guard this. But he is able to take this pawn. Yeah, he takes that pawn. I'm going to support. I'm going to go ahead and... I can't push this one yet. Let's go ahead and go... Yeah, I'm getting low on time. Okay, let's just try to trade here. If he gives a check, I can come up. But yeah, my time is kind of an issue, which happens a lot. If I could get the queen trade, that would be nice. Okay. But he's definitely not going to take the queen trade. Okay, we can go here. Actually, there's this. You just go over. Also, maybe I should have just given a check right away. Although he's covering that right now. Okay, I'm just going to give a check right away just to buy some time here. Then I'm going to go... he's attacking that pawn. I'm just going to go here to guard it. Oh, he's attacking both the pawns, but this one, maybe I should put more effort into protecting. Can't go there, can't go here. Okay, let's just go here. Just try to trade again and just try to make moves quickly. Maybe I walk the king up after here. Okay, can't go there. I could go here. Dang it. Am I going to get in a draw? Is he able to force a draw here? That would be annoying. Because I can't really do anything else. I want to be able to check here maybe. If I could check there, that would be good. Okay, let's give a check. And he can push, I can check. Actually, is that just mate already? Because he can't go back. Okay, push. Yeah, I think just check here and that should be mate, right? Or is it not? Oh, no, never mind, he can block. But we can force the queen trade then. Okay, maybe I should have gone check here. Yeah, maybe check with the rook was better. Now, how do I want to proceed? I think activate the king. This check, just he'll come down, so I don't know if it does anything. I could just do it for time though. Let's go here. I guess he could check like that if he wants. Could come here if he doesn't do it. Okay, no, he does it that way. Go down one. Main thing is I'm just trying to play moves with my king quickly here. Safe moves, they can buy me time. So I'm back to 56 seconds, so that's good. Okay, I think I'll go here. Cut him off. And then I'm thinking maybe king over, push this, and try to bring the king in that way. It would be good if I could get my rook behind the pawn and be able to just push it. But that's a couple moves. Here, here, here. That's like 3 moves. Okay, just guard here. I guess he could check. Come down or back to the side. Okay. Yeah, let's just go here. Here. Now he can't check. I probably should have come here first. And then here he can check again. Kind of annoying. Maybe I need to just try to use the rook. Rook here, here, here. Want to be able to trade the rooks. If he attacks here, I can push. Maybe I can just start pushing before I even get the rook behind it and then slide it back here. Get behind it that way. If I could keep the rook here to cut the king off and also get behind the pawn, that would be ideal. Okay, yeah, I could go ahead and just push the pawn here. Is he threatening anything? Okay, let's just push since I think we can. Or, yeah, I think I can just push. If he comes behind it, then I can't push anymore, but his rook will be stuck to the pawn. Okay, now let's go. Can't push again, but I can maybe bring the king up. And I still want to keep his king cut off. He could give check. Actually, yeah, I might have to go back if he gives check, because I don't want to lose this pawn. Oh no, he attacks the pawn. Okay, well that's good. That means I can bring the king in. And this is still guarded. His king's cut off. And now I think I could go here and try to break this open. Just play it right away. Only up 1 pawn. Is he threatening to check here? Is that a problem? I come down. I think I'll take first with check. Not sure if that's best, but let's try it. And then I think I can push the pawn and try to get behind it now. He could give check, but I'm not too concerned about it. Come down. Here, down. Can't win that pawn. I guess he could check again and win this pawn, but I'm really close to promoting. or if he checks again, if I go here, down, if he does check again, I can block if I wanted to. But it might be better to let him have that pawn. Okay, now we get behind this one. I think that makes the most sense. Yeah, I'm not sure what his plan is with that move. I'm going to start walking the king over this way. He could start pushing though. Could be an issue. Maybe I should walk the king over this way. Try to trade this off and have this other pawn. Actually not sure which one's better. Because he does have a passed pawn here. But I can always drop back and sacrifice if I need to. Okay, I think king over here. His king is still cut off. If I can get my king into here, I think my threat, because my pawn is so much closer, is better. Okay, let's go up. Good. Think for a second. This, he pushes this. Okay, let's go here first. Let's guard the pawn, and now my rook is free to move. And I'm closer to promoting. And we're attacking his rook, of course. I'm still cutting his king off too, for now. Okay, let's, I think, push the pawn right away and just threaten to promote. Okay, I'll just promote. He can try to promote. If I promote and then he goes one further, I can just drop back and sack the rook. Yeah. Is there anything else? Is there a check I should go with? Maybe let's do check first. No, let's just drop back. Because if he checks and then he blocks like that, then it gives check right away. Okay. Down, check. I think I'll just keep walking down if he keeps checking. This still guards. Threatening this also, maybe? No, because he could still take. Then he promotes, so never mind. Okay. Now we have a lot of checks we can give. Let's just look out for a fork. I think we'll be able to get a fork on the rook. Let's see though. Almost. Okay, let's give check here. I'm gonna go. Don't think I have one yet, do I? No, I don't. Oh, no, I don't have it yet. Okay, let's go down here. I need to give as many checks as possible because I don't want him to start checking me over here. Okay, here. Now we got the fork. I knew it was going to happen eventually. I think an engine would prevent it, but in this position against a human, they always will end up giving up a fork like that. So, and maybe there's a way to force it with the engine too. Okay, so we got the win, which was good. It got a little sketchy when I got really low on time, but then we figured out how to get that one check on him and then trade the queens off, and then we were fine after that, I think. Let's go ahead and check the game review and see what it says. But that was a good game. I think he played well the whole time. His biggest mistake was allowing me to get that pin on the knight for so long. Okay, apparently I thought I played pretty well, but apparently I didn't because it says I have 2 blunders and 3 misses, and my accuracy is only 71.6. So I would have thought, from how the game felt, I would have thought it was closer to 80 or something. So there must have been a lot of stuff that we weren't seeing. Yeah, actually the graph is kind of ugly with a lot of big spikes here. But I don't know what that would be, so I'm really curious. I think I'd made some big mistakes at that one point when I allowed him to start checking me um, near the end when my time got really low. I think I was making mistakes around then, but I don't know what they were exactly because I didn't have time to look at everything. So I'm curious what all these mistakes and misses are, all the blunders are. Let's go through here. All right, everything is fine. Trading wasn't great, I guess. It doesn't like trading to win this pawn. It likes white here, +1 advantage. Your best move was to prepare a bishop for development. Yeah, I was considering just trying to push this to open up the bishop for development first, but I know that sometimes when you can win this pawn and then secure it like this, it can be good to go for. So I guess in this position that's not the case though. It prefers opening up for development before trying to get this extra pawn. Although sometimes in the Slav, like, you're supposed to do that in the very beginning, so it's hard to know maybe when it's not good. But yeah, we did win the extra pawn. Then we played this. It prefers the knight out first. Then we do get the knight. That's best. What did it want him to do to attack? I guess maybe he can win the pawn back if he goes here, but I can defend it. Then I guess, does he go here or something? It seems like I could still defend the pawn, but maybe not. Okay, but that was good because he let us trade it off. So, because that was a much weaker pawn than my other pawns. Okay, this was good. Still even here so far. I felt like my position was a little bit better, but the engine actually says we're basically even. Slight advantage for white, 0.35. Okay, he pushes that. This was great. We prevented that fork, and also we're taking up more space in the center. Then that was an inaccuracy. It did want him to just go ahead and take anyway. And after those couple pawn moves, now I have the advantage, minus 0.62. And then here we double up and we get our nice pin on the knight that lasted for a long time. That was best to defend. Oh, I didn't even look at that at all. Could have attacked the rook immediately. So if I do that, okay, then he goes here. So then I just win the pawn, it says. Yeah, I can't go here because the bishop's looking, can't go here. I could maybe go here. But is there a problem with that? There's probably an issue with that. I don't see it yet though. No, it says excellent. I mean, he could chase it away with the bishop. And I go back. Okay, so just taking the pawn is better. And we still have the pin because the queen is still here and the rook is looking at it. He goes over. Okay, 0.4 advantage, so it's still nothing crazy. But that's not what we played. It was, we played the rook here. Yeah, I couldn't figure out what to go for to continue the attack, so I just figured let's just get the rook on a good file here behind this pawn, and then maybe try to push it. And then that was a mistake. Yeah, that was kind of weird. Because you never really want to be defending a pin piece like this. Like, with a rook to the side. It's just a very weakening kind of move, where the rook is tied to the piece, you're still in the pin, and the rook only has so many squares here. It really only has one square it can guard, because this one's covered by the bishop. So if you can ever kick the rook off that square, then you might be able to win the piece. So yeah, that was, I can see why that was a mistake. Although it still didn't actually like this move that much. It says good, but it preferred the queen to come back to here. But why does the queen come back to here? Is it just to support... Oh, I guess just to support the pawn push? Let me see follow-up here. Oh, that's it. It just shows this move. Well, after this, though, after the rook here, we have a -1 advantage. It wanted him to actually sack the knight here, I guess. for the pawn instead of coming back, so this was a mistake. Let me see. Here, 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 here. Oh, then he comes here. Oh yeah, because it's his turn, so he gets to go here. Wants me to go all the way over to here. I probably would have gone here. Because this pawn... no, I guess it doesn't matter. Can't double up. Could go here, but that seems kind of like a weird spot. You can attack it pretty easily. But after I do go here... Oh yeah, because that pawn is under threat, actually. I didn't even notice that for a sec. Okay, is this going to be like a crazy tactic here? It wants him to take the pawn. Oh, never mind. It's not a crazy tactic, I don't think. It's just the pawn is free still. Okay, so after all those moves, I would end up with a -1 advantage for black there. Let's go back to what I played, which is he didn't sack the knight here. He moved the bishop back up and then back again to try to get this pin, which was a little bit of a threat, but I went ahead and took the bishop. We gave him really weak pawns here. Then I attacked this, but it doesn't like that. It wants the pawn to be pushed. It says I permitted him to win a pawn, actually. But how does he win a pawn? Because he can't take here because I have the pin. Let's see the follow-up. Okay, breaks the pin. So he's able to eventually win this pawn, I guess. But I don't know exactly why. I'm not sure why I had to play this move here. I mean, he's double attacking this... oh, never mind. I mean, I guess he's double attacking this pawn and attacking this pawn once he breaks the pin. But if he takes with the knight, I'm still threatening to win the rook, though. So I thought I still have the pin on the knight, even if he goes here. Just pin to the rook instead. Like, if I play something else, like... No, I can't move that because he still has his pin. If I just played a random move... Yeah, that's a mistake. Oh yeah, because he can move the knight here. But if he goes here, then it doesn't work. Because then I just win that. Okay, so I didn't quite see why that worked, that sequence that it showed, where he's able to win the pawn. But I guess with the double attack here, and then however he gets out of this pin on the rook, I can just check it again, what it showed, because I'm kind of curious. So here, show follow-up, goes over. So what's the difference? He attacked that. Oh, all he did was just move the rook out of the pin and double attack this. And then he's able to win that. Okay, it's kind of complicated, but that's why that was an inaccuracy. But he didn't see that. And instead we move our rook here to defend, which I was also considering going here right away. So let's see what that says. Now that's inaccurate. But then he goes here. Then I go here. Then he takes... Oh, so then he's the first one taking. Because he used the tempo on my queen to end up taking before I take here. I guess. Take... And then I can't take this back. So he's at +1. Okay, so it didn't like that, but I didn't play that. I played the correct move here. We got the rook behind the knight. We're threatening this. He moves out of the way. That was inaccurate, though. Wanted the knight to go ahead and move. Knight moves. Oh, yeah. That same move that we saw later where he's defending the rook so he's not in the pin anymore. They wanted him to just go ahead and get out of that as soon as possible. And oh, and here's my blunder. So that was a blunder here. You allowed the opponent to win material because the defender is pinned. Okay, but he missed it though. So what was he supposed to play? He was supposed to take here. Interesting, and then he has the pin on the knight to the queen and double attacks this. And I'm no longer even defending that pawn. Yeah, that wasn't on my radar. I kind of forgot about that as even a thing. I was only focused on the bishop looking at the rook and my knight looking at his rook, and obviously that's what he was looking at too because he missed this idea. And instead we got the exchange that I wanted. So the way I was calculating it was that we would do it this way, and I would take and then I take back at the end. And when this actually plays out, which it did, I have a nice advantage, minus 2.5 just about. But it was only a blunder because of this move, which he didn't find. So I was, I guess, correct in that it would be a good position after all this, but I missed that he could actually just immediately add an attacker and pin it by just doing that like discovered attack with the rook and taking the pawn, and then I would be in some trouble. So now we're at a 2.6 advantage, 2.5. We went ahead and took that trade, which was fine because we're up. That was best to go ahead and push the pawn. Okay, that's good. Let's see where I messed up here, because I know I made some mistakes very soon, and it was when, like, on the clock here I'm below a minute. Okay, didn't like that so much. Oh, it prefers just pushing it 1 instead of 2. Yeah, that probably makes more sense. Keep the pawns closer together, and then I can bring the king in. I don't know why I didn't even... I don't think I thought of pushing it 1, did I? I thought of trying to either push it 2 or defend with the queen, and I decided to push it 2. But pushing 1 is the better way to go. Okay. So I push it 2, that's inaccurate. That's a mistake, though. It says I can win the rook. Oh, is the rook trapped? To eventually win a rook. No, it's not trapped. But it almost, yeah, it's almost trapped. If I go here, no, he's still guarding that square. Let's see the follow-up. Oh, I start with the check. Then that check. Oh yeah, I should have been more aggressive with the checks. So we win the rook from that. Because he has to block, that's why. And then the pawn takes it. Yeah, okay. Okay. Yeah, my time got low and I started playing defensively, and this is when I think I played the worst around this time. Like this and then a little bit later. Never even like considered doing this check earlier, which I should have done. That's why that's a mistake. Check. He's not protecting this. He moves. I check. Wait, could he block with the pawn though? Here. Check. What if he blocks with the pawn? Oh, do I have... No, I don't have that. Here. And then I'm threatening to go here. And he can't go up. And if the queen moves, I can check him again. Or I could probably check here. Okay, if the queen doesn't have anywhere to go, really. Yeah, he actually can't move anywhere. The diagonals are cut off. So I'm threatening to go here and win the queen. And even if the queen somehow did move, although he can't go to any of these squares. But let's say he somehow moved in. Let's say I couldn't take him here. I think... Okay, let's pretend he was somewhere else. Let's pretend he was able to escape. And then I just have that. Okay, he's able to take it here because it's on the same diagonal, but I was trying to imagine if he was able to escape somewhere else, we still would have a mate there, actually. But it's kind of pointless to look at, I guess, because he didn't actually have anywhere to go. So that's a really good threat. Let me see what the engine thinks he should have done. Queen there, then we go here. Yeah, there's no way to not lose the queen. Okay, so if I played this a little more aggressively at this point when I have the good position and gone for checks, I don't know if I would have found that exactly. That was kind of a little bit tricky to find, especially with my low time. But we could have created a lot more threats. Instead, I found myself playing a little bit passively with not much time on the clock here. And then I lost that pawn. This was a mistake because of that check, which I didn't think was that threatening. But I wanted to just try to trade queens. Okay, it wants him to go here. Let me make sure he wasn't winning, right? Okay, no, he still wasn't winning, but it was drawn here. Then I go for that check, which was good. We got a grate for that. It wants me to come back to here, I guess, to help the queen keep everything out of my business back here. That was great. Had to do that. I think he can just keep checking, or keep making those same moves and force a draw, right? Is he able to do that? Here's not a check. Is he threatening? Yeah, he's threatening to mate there, so I have to keep blocking. So that's why it's 0.0. He could have forced the draw, I think. But instead, he went ahead and snagged this pawn. I guess he got hopeful that he could still win. And it says I can win a queen here. We found that move, but then I missed. Yeah, oh yeah, I realized this after. So this is why I have some big misses. It's stuff like this. But it was mostly when I was playing with low time on the clock, I think. I had that one miss earlier, though, when I did have plenty of time on the clock. And the blunder, which I had a decent amount of time on the clock. But I should have checked here, because then he has to block like this, otherwise it's mate. And I think I kind of realized this right after. But instead I checked with the queen first, so then we just got a queen trade instead of winning the queen. So it made it a lot harder to win this, but we still had this nice pawn on the side. It actually says that we're about drawn here, though. I have a slight advantage, but it's not much. So I guess at some point he must have made some errors like that, yeah. He should have got behind the pawn here. That was a blunder. Why was that a blunder, though? If he checks, I come down to defend this pawn. Then what? He can't. He could go behind this pawn, but I'm still guarding it. Okay, let's see the follow-up. Check. Oh, he doesn't want me to go down. But what if I do go down? Okay. For some reason, it wants me to just give up the pawn instead of coming down, but I figured since I'm still guarding, preventing the king from coming in, that there's no, like, rush really. It's not a big deal if I go back, because he can't come in anyway. But for some reason, the engine doesn't think the same. The engine thinks I need to move the king up to the center and just give up that pawn. So that's why that says blunder. I don't really understand it exactly, though, because I don't see the urgency of moving the king to the center when he's cut off here. And I don't know if I can figure it out from the engine. Sometimes it's hard to tell what it's thinking. Okay, so now our advantage is back. He let us push this. He went back here to guard the pawn. Let me see, was there a big mistake? Okay, there was his miss because he didn't check. And then that was an inaccuracy. We got our check, we opened that up, and then we pushed. That was a mistake. It really wants me to guard against the check, apparently. So we're back to drawing. He didn't give the check. I saw the check, but I wasn't too worried about it. So why was this check dangerous? Or not that. Oops. Why was this check dangerous? I come down. Then he gets behind the pawn, but then I defend it. But then his king is no longer cut off, so I guess that's the danger. But it actually wants his king to come back. Why here? Why not here? That's a mistake. But why is this not? How could this be a mistake, but this isn't, when they're like almost doing the same thing and the king is going backwards? There was only one good move there, it says. Okay, so the engine is finding all these draws and stuff, but I think they're hard to find. I think to a regular player, it's tricky to see them. Let me see the follow-up. Check. Back down. Push the pawn. Wants me to just promote for no reason. Whenever I'm doing the reviews, like, the engine is really difficult to understand sometimes. Maybe there are simple explanations. Maybe it's just that this pawn can promote really quickly. So I have to force his rook to go up here by sacking my pawn. But this pawn is my only chance of winning, so Yeah, it's weird that it would want me to sack it. Let me go back to what I actually played though. So I push. That was his miss. Oh yeah, because it all started with this check. I didn't see why this check was so dangerous. And I still don't really, honestly. Here, here. I guess the only danger I can see from it is that his king can maybe come in because I'm no longer blocking it with the rook. So if my king moves, his king comes in. I could see some potential danger in that. But instead he didn't find the check, and instead he defended. And then I'm able to move my king over, and I'm way quicker, even though he has this pawn that's close. Now we're threatening his rook, and we can always drop back. So this is what I was looking at, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm pretty safe here, because I can promote before him. Went ahead and promoted. Oh, it wanted this check first. Drop back. Oh, that's my miss. Wanted check here. What if he goes over here? Oh, then he blocks off his defense of the pawn. I was looking at checking maybe like here or something, but then I thought if he goes here, then I'm forced to trade because the queen is now pinned to the king. So take, take, then I go here. I guess it's still maybe okay. Maybe, I guess it's still winning because I have the rook, and I think I can stop the pawn in time. But it looked kind of sketchy, so I didn't decide to check here because of that. And I thought maybe I could check here as well. Let me see what it says about that. Okay, that's excellent. So that was okay. Let me see. Is this bad? It says good. So yeah, it's not a great move. But I decided to just stick with this, which was apparently a miss. We went from mate and 4. Oh, there's mate and 4. Okay. Mate and 4 to a... So we're not even worrying about the pawn. I guess it's just mate coming up. Let me see what the mate was, actually. Here. Here. Oh, then I have here. Here. Rook comes over. Oh yeah, and then the king cuts off the extra squares. Okay, that's cool. Didn't see that mate, and I was still worried about this pawn here, so... We cut off the pawn. Trade for the rook. And it still wants me to give this check over here for some reason. Even when he had queened, it wants me to go ahead and give the check here first. He moves. Oh, then I give check again. So it wants to find all these checks and maybe a mate. It says mate in 24, actually. Then I take. So it's the same thing. I end up taking this, but it just prefers with the queen being over here, I guess. But we didn't see all that. So instead we just take right away, give this check. And then I knew if I just keep checking him, I'll eventually be able to fork the rook. And here it was. He made the mistake. Yeah, human players, it's so hard to see every potential fork like this when you're getting checked and moving your king all over. It's hard to avoid them all. Because I know from experience being in the same position, trying to avoid getting forked by a queen, and it's really difficult. So yeah, here he made the mistake. We got the fork, and he went ahead and resigned. So yeah, interesting game. My accuracy was worse than I thought it was going to be, and there were a lot more mistakes and like some blunders and stuff I didn't realize I was going to have. But I think from a human perspective, I think I played pretty well, aside from probably that one blunder with the knight right here. I guess this was the biggest thing that I missed that could have easily been found by my opponent, but luckily he didn't find it. And let me see the other blunder was, oh yeah, the king here, which I still didn't understand exactly. I didn't understand why I need to lose the pawn. Let me just check it again real quick. So if I defend the pawn, then he goes here. Wait, it says inaccurate even though the arrow said to go there. Okay, let's go to here. Rook b6. It's saying it's inaccurate, but it's giving it as the top move. Rook takes h6 is the second move. Okay, I don't understand this. Because the engine said that this was a blunder for me to go up, but if I go down to defend the pawn, it doesn't like it. But then it doesn't actually provide a follow-up for white that makes sense. Am I missing something here? Because it looks like it's giving this as the top move. Rook b6. But then it calls it an inaccuracy. once it's played. So I think I was fine, right? And I mean, the engine's not explaining how this was not good, how it was a blunder. Even when I'm looking for the moves, it's not showing me a move that it's not calling. It's calling its own move an inaccuracy. So, okay, I think I was probably fine from a practical perspective there. I don't really see why it was a blunder. Maybe it wasn't the best move, but the engine is not telling me why it's really a blunder. Why I can't go back to defend the pawn. So I think stuff like that was hurting my accuracy, but it gave him low accuracy too, 67.1. I thought both of us would be higher. And then there were the misses like at the end that also were like the missed mate in 4. And then he had the missed what was his miss? This miss. Oh no, that was the same one. His miss on my apparent blunder. And then he missed on my other blunder with the knight earlier. Just trying to see if there's anything else important to take away from this one. Okay, I think here was important. I should have. This was to me the second biggest takeaway. I think besides those tactical misses and the blunder with the knight was probably just to start checking and just like be more aggressive here at the end, because I got a little more passive and then I almost got in trouble and I got really low on time. So probably should have checked first, and probably not allowed that check. But I was nervous because as you can see here in the corner, 14 seconds on the clock. So once again, my biggest commonality is in my mistakes is that I get really low on time. So I think I've improved at it somewhat, but I still struggle with it a lot because it takes me a while to see all the important moves sometimes. So I spend a long time in some of the middle game positions, but it ended up being okay here. And then that was his blunder because I had that check, and then could have won the queen, but I missed. Oh yeah, so this was a good one to have seen. But I was still trying to play quickly because I wanted to buy my time back here. So 33 seconds, I went ahead and just checked with the queen. For a second I thought it was mate, but then I realized no, he can block. So if I had given the check here, if he had gone up, it's mate. And if he had blocked, then I win the queen. So the check with the rook was much better. That's definitely a takeaway I could have seen. So the knight tactic, checking with this rook, and then maybe playing a little more aggressively and having given checks earlier instead of playing kind of passive at this around this point in time. Those are my biggest takeaways, I think. And then once we were playing this in-game part, my main thing was just pushing this pawn and trying to get behind it, which I was able to do, and then he couldn't really stop it, so we were fine at that point, even though it was still giving me some misses. Like this was considered a miss because I did have this mate in 4, but it was like a mate where I push him over to my king into the middle of the board and then mate him using my king's cutting off the squares. So it's not something that I was looking at that point in time. So yeah, that was the game, and we did gain some more elo. We're back to 1225, so we've kind of recovered a little bit from that little loss streak that I had for a few days, or for like maybe a week. I think I had a bunch of draws and losses kind of back to back and only a few wins, so we bounced back a little bit from that losing and drawing streak, and now we're up to 1225, and this has been day 96. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on day 97.